Let's join curriculum designer Greg Tuve as he talks about the challenges involved with teaching reading and how Reading on Rails has been designed to address those challenges.
According to Scientific American, the average adult reader knows 80,000 words. Imagine trying to memorize 80,000 words without knowing the sounds of the letters inside them, or that you have to read from left to right. Cat and act would look like the same word. Brag and grab would mean the same thing. So teachers focused on the Dolch sight word list. That sight word list contains about 300 words. They're very common, so knowing them is very useful, but memorization ignores letter sounds and ignores letter order. Letter order and letter sounds don't matter in your computer passwords. How many passwords have you memorized this year? I'll bet it wasn't 300. Letter sounds do have to be memorized. Blending has to be practiced. Over time, k, a, n becomes can. That's blending. Eventually, kids use these building blocks to comprehend the internal structure of complex words like splashed, editorial, and squeamish. So Rails is a phonics-based program, but it's concentrated phonics. Concentrated phonics, or Rails phonics, includes 4 different kinds of rhyming. Standard rhyming like west, nest, and zest. Alliterative rhyming like stand, store, and still. Extremity rhyming, knit, nat, nut, where the vowels are the only thing that's different. And vowel rhyming, where the vowels are the only thing that's the same. Dad, fan, lap. The words in Rails, as you may have guessed, are not for telling stories. They're for teaching reading. For example, pictures stay hidden until the words have been pronounced correctly. We're not teaching picture analysis, we're teaching reading. E is the most common letter in English, followed by T. N and S, also very common. So letters like those are taught first so that your child can begin reading as soon as possible. Now, EST, for example, is not a word. It's a letter pattern, a very common one. You can hear est in simple words like best, rest, and forest. But you can also hear those letters in high school words like ancestral, trimester, and destiny. In fact, there are over 3,000 words that contain the letter pattern EST. Common letter patterns like EST give your child a leg up on thousands of words at a time. Many of those words are words that he will not encounter until 6th grade or 9th grade. Knowing EST makes learning UST, AST, and IST a lot easier. Rails uses many different techniques to accelerate reading instruction. If your child is a beginner, he will be studying words like an, on, un, and in. Each of those words begins with a vowel, and vowels can be stretched until the second letter can be recalled. So for a new student, it might sound like this. Looking at O-N, he might say, and while he's saying that, he's thinking about the second letter. So he just blended those 2 letters together. Because reading from left to right is essential in written English, Rails includes word sets like this one, sap, asp, spa, pass, where all the letters are the same, but they've been rearranged so that you have to be reading from left to right to get the answer correctly. So the long-term goal in all this is smooth blending from left to right of speech sounds. You probably thought I was going to be saying letter sounds, but letter sounds and speech sounds are the same thing. So when your child is reading out loud, if he's reading smoothly, it will sound like he's talking to himself. That makes reading comprehension turn into listening comprehension. In typical settings, it takes most children 3 to 4 school years to learn reading. That's about 1,200 hours of instructions. By contrast, most Rails kids learn to read in 40 to 120 hours. So that's Reading on Rails in a nutshell.